We've got a game.
Okay.
And you could literally be. I think David did one, didn't he? Yeah. Sort of.
He was driving.
But it's a drinking game.
Okay.
So if you're up for it, it won't be a mega shot or nothing like a mega pint or whatever. It won't be nothing like that. So, but what it's called is called Shot Stopper.
Okay.
And your undertitle is actors. So I'm going to put two actors up against one another. We both are. And you have to pick one and you have to explain why you prefer that actor, right? Ooh. Let's actually imagine, right, you're directing and writing a film. So you have to put these actors up against one another until we get your ultimate actor out of the rest of it. If you can't choose between two names, it's a shot.
Oh no!
Right, so
this is tough for an upcoming actor. Because I might want to work with all these guys. Yeah. If I start saying like he's better than him,
no. Well,
we'll see. Let's have a look.
Let's have a look. Right, I'll start us off. So this is randomised as well. So some of these you might be like, how can I? But that's the idea. I've got to get you drunk. So right. So
get a drink out already.
Yeah, I know. Oh no. With limoncello. What do you want? Limoncello. Ray and Nephews.
Oh, definitely not Ray. No. Give me something a bit softer.
I'll give you. We'll do the limoncello. The limoncello is a bit of a fan favourite. Say fan favourite. I'm the one who ends up having to do the shot because everyone drives here.
Not me. I took the train.
Yes, took the train. He knew what was coming. He knew there was a pub. Right. So first two. Remember, you have to say why as well. So Stephen Graham or Will Smith.
Ooh, that's a toughie because I genuinely think Stephen Graham is an amazing, amazing actor, like one of my favourites to watch. But I have to say, before Will Smith done that slap, he was literally one of my like guys, and I would be like, so I have to say Will Smith, but only because like I grew up just like thinking this guy's sick. Do you know what I mean? Like all the films he was a part of, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like I grew up on it. I found him hilarious. He made me cry in certain movies. Like, what was that? £7? Is it £7?
Oh,
The
man,
Child?
Yeah.
Bro, that one broke my heart when I was younger watching that. And I was like, this guy is just amazing at what he's doing. But Stephen Graham is phenomenal. Like, and he's worked with the same people that made Gassed Up, Ascendant Fox. So he's worked on Boiling Point, which is another show they produce.
Oh, mate, yeah.
So yeah, I've watched his stuff, and even before that, like I thought he was an amazing actor. So really tough one, but only Will Smith because I grew up and he was like a legend to me. The slap thing, but he's still a legend, isn't it?
Yeah. I loved him in This Is England. Like, This Is England is the best British film you can ever watch, and I was just like, mate, that character. Anyway, go for it, Faye.
All right, Will Smith. So you went with Will Smith, right? Will Smith or Forrest Whitaker?
I think I'd still say Will Smith. It's going to be hard to beat Will Smith, because you guys went early with someone that I really like put up there as one.
I reckon
we'll see.
I reckon there's some that change. Yeah. Okay, Will Smith or Tom Hanks?
Ooh, that's a tough one as well.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is great, though, isn't it?
Oh, is it a shot?
You got 5.
Is it a shot?
4, 3.
Yeah, I can't decide between those two. I have to admit, I can't.
Right, I got this fancy glass.
I can't decide with those two. I can't decide.
I won't do it all the way, man. I won't do it all the way. We'll just do a little tipple.
I'm not even a big drinker like that.
No. We're just gonna do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that all right? Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you.
There you go. Cheers. Right. So first shot.
Yeah. Here we go.
It's not too bad though.
Not bad, is it?
No, it goes down all right.
Yeah. Let me tell you. Right. Okay. So couldn't pick between Tom Hanks, Will Smith.
That's tough, yeah, because Tom Hanks has some great roles, man. You know, again, grew up watching some of his roles, and I just think that they're two different actors as well, where it's like Tom Hanks can, he's just got a certain emotion that he can draw out of you.
Yeah.
But Will Smith is like, so I can see him in comedies and everything. But Tom Hanks, like, if you watch one of his films, it's like you're probably gonna feel something in your heart, bro. Like, he's just sick with it. So yeah, tough.
That Otto thing he just come out on Netflix is really good.
I haven't watched that yet.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
that's a nice watch.
Things, actually.
It's a nice watch. Right, so we're gonna go Jamie Foxx or Robert Downey Jr.
I'd say Robert Downey Jr.
Why?
I just think it's the superhero movie, man. It's Iron Man.
You surprised me with Jamie Foxx because he's a musician.
Jamie Foxx is awesome. Do you know what it is? I think I'm biased because Jamie Foxx had beef with someone. Who was it? Who was he? I beat like
Tyson, Mike Tyson.
Was it Mike, or was it 50 Cent as well?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, but he had beef. Well, he was playing Mike Tyson, but then Jamie had some sort of stroke or something. But there's like a theory. This is not really like Mike Tyson wasn't happy with how he was playing the role of Mike Tyson and all this stuff. Like the list was excessive but I think there was beef for that. But I think you're right with 50 Cent as well. I think 50 Cent.
I believe, and at the time, I was like, just love it because 50 Cent's a troll, man. I'm just on his team, innit? If he's trolling someone, I'm gonna be laughing. I think so subconsciously, like ever since that happened with Jamie Foxx, like someone I respected was beefing with him, and I was just like, I put him a bit lower in my standards. But I have seen him act. He's an amazing actor actually as well. And yeah, like you said, he's a musician and stuff. I can relate to a lot, but.
Robert Downey Jr.
Iron Man, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, again, like I'm a big superhero buff as well, man. So like,
same.
Most superhero films, I'm gonna be drawn to the lead actor of that. You know? I feel like they've all been casted really well. To be honest, there's not really a superhero film I can be like, oh, he shouldn't be the main guy.
No, Robert Downey Jr. was gold. He's been casted again, hasn't he, as Doctor Doom?
Has he? I didn't know.
He's casted as Doctor Doom. So they brought back Robert Downey Jr. as, if you know, geeking out again, geeking out over villains and that, but Doctor Doom is Robert Downey Jr. So Doctor Doom is the big villain for Fantastic Four and one of the big villains for the Avengers in general. So
mad.
A little bit of trivia. There you go.
Bit of a geek.
Bit of a geek.
All right.
So
Robert Downey Jr. or Cuba Gooding Jr.?
I don't think I've seen enough of give me some roles that Cuba's been in.
He done.
God.
What's that film?
Here we go. No one can name it.
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
He was in Boys in the Hood.
Okay. Yeah,
he was in.
I don't think I've seen enough of him. To give
Jerry Maguire was his biggest. Like he won an Oscar for Jerry Maguire. Show me the money. You know, all that stuff. He was big in Jerry Maguire.
I'd probably still go with Robert just because I've not watched enough of him and he's not so recognizable to me immediately.
Okay. So we're going Robert Downey Jr. or Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo.
Yeah,
he's like pretty much number one for me. I feel like he's the best actor.
Oh man, we've
done it early.
Do you know what? I do these. Yeah,
you might have a couple that could, but like for me, like if someone was, if you guys were like, who's your top actor? Like who do you think? Like, or if you could cast someone to play in your movie, who would you love to cast? Probably Leo, because. And it's not even for the shows you would think. It's for the smaller, like the lesser known ones, like Blood Diamond and stuff. Like I loved him in that. Like I loved him. There's certain, obviously Titanic as well. Like to be so young and just do an amazing performance is just phenomenal, man. I could tell from watching that as a young boy that he was an amazing actor. And then when I watch his modern stuff, I'm like, he's like Wolf of Wall Street, amazing actor. Like, do you know what I mean? He's just kept it going continuously throughout his career, and it's definitely something that I idolize and think I would love to have a career that just continuously evolves like his has. You know?
100%. Right, who's next? We got Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, there you go.
Or Denzel Washington.
Ooh, another one of my favorites, bro. Denzel is amazing actor, sick actor, bro. Like that's a tough one. Just give me a shot.
I knew.
You got me with the Denzel. You know, I can't lie because he's so entertaining to watch, man. And he's like. I love to watch him in roles where he's like the underdog and like he's like all the odds are against him and he still comes out on top. Like I love those kind of roles when he's playing that kind of role, or when he's up against such a big like opposition and still perseveres. Like I love him like as like the underdog kind of character, you know. But
Training Day is an absolute beast of a film.
He's a whole different character there. He's like I love him in there as well because like, you know, he plays the whole switcheroo on his rookie, you know. That's like an iconic film though. You're gonna make me want to watch that when I go home now.
So what's your top three, Denzel?
Top three.
Sorry, I
can't pick them. You know, I love Denzel in too many different things. You know,
too many different roles.
But I think, there's too many different. I couldn't really pick out three of Denzel. You know, I think most of Denzel's career, like if he appears in the film, he makes the film good.
Yeah,
he's one of those kind of actors. Like even if you haven't heard of any of the other cast, if Denzel's in it, it's probably going to be a good film. I think Training Day definitely would take like one of the top 3 slots though, but slotting in the others, I don't know, man. It's a bit tough.
It's too many. Okay. So we're fresh again. Oof. So we've got actually 2 Batman actors.
Oh,
right. Morgan Freeman or Christian Bale.
I'm going to say Morgan Freeman, but just because For me, Christian Bale, I only really recognize him from Batman. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really watch too much other stuff that he's done.
No.
Whereas, you know, I remember him being God. I remember
Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's how, it was in the back of my head somewhere. I was like, I remember him like in so many different kind of roles, and I feel like Morgan Freeman's got that voice that you want to like narrate your life story.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like for me, I like Morgan Freeman a lot as well. So when compared to Christian Bale, yeah,
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman or Ryan Gosling?
Tough again, but I'd still say Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
Ryan Gosling's solid though, but I'd still say Morgan Freeman.
Right, okay. You said why Morgan Freeman or Tom Hardy?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to just say Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy is like, again, like him and Michael Caine are my two British actors that I think inspire me the most. Or like their careers are kind of the type of roles they do, and then the way they progress. I kind of want to follow in the same vein. So even when talking with my own agent, I'm like, I want to follow kind of how they did. When we was talking about how there's different types of actors, I feel like I'm that type. You get one type of actor who can be a complete chameleon, and like they can change everything about themselves, and they look completely different, sound different, whole different energy.
Yeah.
But then you get actors like Tom Hardy, Michael Caine, myself, where you take a bit of your energy into whatever role you do.
Yeah.
And I just feel like they're like the biggest example for an actor like me to be successful.
What's similar about Tom Hardy as well, like when you hear Tom Hardy's actual voice, he actually has this sort of twang to it, like that London cultural twang, you know, but like it's like a posher version. It's like, it's quite an odd voice.
They call it like estuary English. You ever heard of that? It's called estuary English, where it's like, it's not quite RP like posh, like, and it's not quite colloquial slang, like it's like in the middle, estuary, like, yeah, that's what it's supposed to be called. But that's what, if you're applying for a film, they'll be like estuary English accent, and then you know they kind of want that Tom Hardy general talking accent, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right, okay.
All right, we got.
Oh, mate, big one. Big one.
Tom Hardy or Robert De Niro?
It's his personal preference. You ain't got to go for like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I respect what Robert De Niro has done for film in general. Do you know what I mean? And some of the iconic films he's been involved in. But again, just personally, Tom Hardy's one of my favorite actors. You know, Tom Hardy, Michael Caine, Will Smith, Leo. Top four probably is those four, to be honest, and you touched on all of them. So
Okay. So Tom Hardy or Al Pacino?
Tom Hardy again. But again, once again, man, Al Pacino is a legend in the game. I love the characters that he plays, but I feel like I just relate to Tom more.
Yeah,
I just relate to him, so it makes me just want to like watch more of his things. And
I get it.
Yeah.
It's funny. This is like a Royal Rumble of actors, and Robert De Niro and Al Pacino have been knocked out of the ring.
No, that's crazy.
It's crazy, right? But it's a personal preference.
Yeah,
thing.
It's
not like
preference.
if you go by like what they've done for like the world in terms of films, I feel like, you know, Tom's still got more things to push later on to become like that kind of legend. But he's still a legend either way. But I feel like people like Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, like things like The Godfather, you know, it kind of set cinema up. It made people like love film, like, do you know what I mean? So like it's an iconic moment in history that those guys were a part of, you know.
100%.
All right, Tom Hardy or Idris Elba?
Ooh, tough one again. And I love Idris because Idris came to our premiere of Gassed Up. So you got to give mad respect to a man like Idris.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, he came through. He put a little tweet up, post on Instagram and stuff of our pictures and stuff. And yeah, mad respect to Idris. And also just generally like great actor. I've watched a lot of his projects. I loved him in Luther.
See, that reminded me of what you was talking about earlier with the policeman, but the regular Joe playing the policeman. Right? Luther, I was thinking I'm going to ask him, like, what does he think of Luther and things like that.
Really good, really good.
Right, you know, like sort of a bit of a geezer, you had to walk and all that, and it was like,
yeah.
I love that about it. But you're dead on with. You don't have to be the generalized detective, right? You know, like
he brought a bit of himself into it, you know?
Exactly.
And you can see it on screen. It translates really well. So, but back on topic, Idris or Tom. I'm gonna have to take another shot, bro. I can't really say. Like, Idris is such a good actor, like that I can't even like say Tom over him, because let's get them together and let's get them both co-starring roles in the same film. It's gonna be a banger. Thank you, brother.
I was a bit mean with the last one.
A bit longer, but it's fine. This is all right.
That's all good. Right. Okay. Right. So I'm saying one of my all-time favourites now. So you got Anthony Hopkins or Jack Nicholson? Don't just go for that because I've said it. But.
No, but Jack Nicholson is the School of Rock, yeah?
No, Jack Black. Jack Nicholson.
Oh, that's Jack Black?
Yeah, Jack Nicholson is The Shining.
Okay.
Yeah, so that guy basically with a face like that, you know. He's got all the... He was the Joker. He was the original Joker.
And who was the other option again, sorry?
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
Who played
Hannibal.
the serial killer Hannibal,
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to have to say Anthony because that role itself, yeah, he flipped the script, bro. He showed that you can play a sadistic character and play it so calm.
Yeah.
And play it so well-spoken, eloquent, and just... I think before that, if you gave all the other people that auditioned, I imagine they were very different versions of Hannibal. You know, very aggressive, very like intimidating. And Anthony Hopkins was intimidating in a whole different way. He was like quiet, reserved. And I took some of that for Roach, actually.
Really?
Yes. If you rewatch Roach, like there's sometimes where he does explode, but there's sometimes where he just like, there's a moment where Steven's breaking up with me, our friendship. Like, like, he's breaking our friendship up. And there's a time like where... At that point, when I first read the scene and spoke to the director, I was like, oh, I feel like naturally he'd be all exploded, like, what? You don't want to chill with me no more? Are you dumb, blood? But then I was like, I feel like because it's such an emotional moment, like, you should just look at man and play it quiet and be like, you really gonna do me like that, bro? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like different. And it's like, I took a bit of Anthony Hopkins there because he was like, the same way he was like, you don't have to give intimidation out like that, you know, it can be very quiet and the undertone.
Well, with that role, what's interesting about Hannibal, he said, well, it's funny, Jim Carrey told the story how they were sitting at dinner. It was Anthony Hopkins and Jim Carrey having dinner, like weirdly. And Anthony Hopkins was asking Jim Carrey, how did you come up with the role of Ace Ventura? And he was like, well, I actually got it from a cockatoo, like the way that it walks and all that. So all that as well, like the movement of the head. But then Anthony Hopkins was like, that's so weird because what I did for Hannibal Lecter was I mixed a tarantula and a crocodile together. And he used the animals, like he didn't blink and it would just be this thing of looking out and like, because when you was explaining it there, you didn't blink. Yeah. And you must have subconsciously picked that up. And it's this whole... For sure. But it's a
stillness and everything.
He
portrays that so well as Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, when you think of a tarantula, they're just like ready, but they're stealthy, aren't they? And then all of a sudden, they go, bang, did it? Yeah. Okay. Right. Anyway.
That's a sick analogy, actually. I've never even thought about it in terms of animals, you know? Maybe that's some higher tier of acting thinking that I need to start tapping into, bro. Because I've never thought about comparing the way that I control a character as an animal.
But like, say like I know this sounds mad, but like dogs have amazing personalities, right? I prefer dogs to people, right? I love dogs, man. Like, but the personalities that they've got, you know, they can flip within an instant, you know, or they can be back to being the most lovable person you've ever, like the lovable rogue. Like my dog in there, Frank, he's mental, but he's the most lovable dog you'll ever meet. You know, he's great. But like, yeah, I think
he's made a few appearances here as well.
Oh, mate, yeah.
On the show,
yeah. He's been knocking at the door and that. He was on Dogs Behaving very badly. Yeah, because he knocks down TVs, and we had no option but to call up because we had cause every time we saw a dog on the telly, he'd go for the TV. So
really?
he just he killed 2 TVs, one landed on him, and then he had a thing about buses coming past him because he thought it was the sound of the telly. So he was like that.
No.
So
him.
but he's all right now. He's hard as nails. Right, so we're going with Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins or Samuel L. Jackson?
It has to be Samuel again. Sorry, you guys are confused. Like, I didn't expect I'd be flip-flopping so much, but like, it has to be Samuel again because that iconic voice, that iconic attitude, Mace Windu. Do you know what I mean? Like, the first Black Jedi. Like, I swear, like he was iconic as hell, man. And like, you know, Samuel Jackson is. I believe it's him as well. Is it him? There's something that someone always tells me is that I think it's Samuel Jackson that didn't get his big break until he was like 40 or something like that.
Yeah.
It could be him. I might be getting it wrong. Don't quote me. But I believe it's Samuel Jackson. I've heard it so much where it's like, to encourage actors that have been actors for a few years, is like, don't forget that like someone like Samuel only made it at this age. So you know what I mean? Just keep
didn't this
pushing.
happen with Jim Carrey as well?
This happened with, so it was definitely Samuel Jackson because when you really think about Pulp Fiction and stuff like that,
it's late.
It's like 45. Even more so, Morgan Freeman. when do you remember Morgan Freeman being a young man in a film? Like,
right.
never,
right.
ever.
What's funny for me is that I played a young man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not actually a young man.
Yeah.
It can be awkward as well. Like, I get like a lot of young people approaching me thinking that we're the same age. You know? Yeah, I've had like little girls approach me like, I'm like, I could be your dad. I could literally be your dad. Like, so
Step back.
That could be one of the issues in it that I experience as an actor, is that like when you play young roles, people think you are that age because you look that age.
But at least you can fleet in between old and young, right? Because you are that age,
I am that
and you have
age,
that
yeah.
experience of that. How old are you?
I'm 31.
31,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm 33, so there's nothing between us. If you look at me and then you look at Craig, like I look a hell of a lot older. So it's like, say like in my industry, it's like you want to be youthful, which you see what I mean? Like the look of it or whatever. I couldn't give a really. I couldn't give a what I look like. I am what I am. But I think use it to your advantage, because if you've got to play a younger version of, you know, the best character you've ever landed a role upon,